Thermal energy and temperature are two different things, but they are related, and I don't want you guys to mess them up. Temperature only deals with average kinetic energy. Okay, so this is average kinetic energy of individual particles. Now, that means if particles are moving fast, kinetic energy is high and the temperature is high. It has absolutely nothing to do with the total amount of particles. Okay, not dependent on how many particles. So if we consider a couple different scenarios, say we have a block over here that has been frozen and it's just cold. So this is like 0 degrees Celsius or a little bit colder. All these particles are locked in position. If we have a bigger block over here with the same temperature, it has more thermal energy. And the reason it has more thermal energy is because there's more of it. Okay, so even though this one's 0 degrees Celsius and this one's 0 degrees Celsius, this one has more energy, more thermal energy, because there's more particles here. Now, if we start to heat this one up, then these particles can start to vibrate and wiggle around, and that's going to give them a little bit more energy. And that becomes a complicated situation. If something's hot and something's cold, which one's got more thermal energy? Well, if they have different masses, that's hard to say. But if they have the same mass, then the one that's warmer has more particle motion. It has more thermal energy. However, if you consider like a little tiny cup of coffee, and it's a liquid, so you've got these things in here, and then you consider a giant frozen lake. These particles are locked in position, very little motion, so very low temp. But there's hundreds of thousands and billions and trillions of them over here. And a cup of coffee, you have high temp, but you only have a few atoms compared to a lake. Then this is actually going to have less thermal energy. So the thermal energy does depend not only on temperature but also on how many. Okay, so one atom moving really, really quick has a high temperature, but it has less thermal energy than lots of atoms moving fairly slow.